Well, alright, that was certainly a thing, and well, all that's left is the final volume. Oh wait, warnings. Yeah, I keep forgetting out those. Volume 14, just go ahead now. Dirk Afterward. Discussion of suicide. Well, alright. We've had worse. We've had worse warnings, and they haven't been that bad. Although it might be just because I'm kind of jaded. But, well, I mean, we've seen that I am. Oh, not that much phases me in this one, apparently. No, well. Oh, well. Anyway. Always with this navigation of the menus. Alright. Volume 14. Let's just go ahead now. Let's just go ahead now. Indeed. Let's finish this. Alright. You've come a long way. You've made a lot of friends and managed to keep them all. It's really amazing that we did that, though. That's just... jeez. All things considered. I mean, we did die several times, and that was... yeah, but, you know, alternate timelines... whatever. You're helping them grow, and you're growing alongside them while also entrenching yourself in some ridiculous nonsense along the way. Bit of an understatement, isn't that? Living, laughing, loving, shitting, shiding, and farding. Words. As is right and in balance. You think so, anyway. Do I? Yeah, probably could. Is it right? I'm not sure if it's right, but, you know, could be worse. We saw how those things could be worse, so... but yes, I guess I think so. Yeah, could be worse. You're still on the lookout for any specific bits of meaning to help nail down your sense of purpose, as it careens every which way according to the whims of friendship and fancy, as well as the authors. There is a natural flow to this all. Trolls in sets of 12, give or take in some common pairs, as you think back to your first round of friends. I bet who's counting? Kids in sets of 4. You've had time to realize more about the Earths you've been hopping between. A kid on one is an adult on the other. It's been weirdly relieving, seeing multiple versions of your friends. Not that you seem to be bound by any of the same rules that they are. Sure. Still coping with how that works, I guess. But it's all good. It's just that as someone whose self has been scattered to the winds of time, regathered thanks to Aradia, and is still not fully stable, it's kinda nice to see that it's not just you out there trying different shit out, self-wise. I mean, everyone's gotta explore themselves all the time. That's really the only thing that keeps moving sometimes. The exploration of the self, that's the last vestige that remains after all others have been exhausted. When you think about the last friend left to visit in this set, you can't help but feel a bit guilty. With everything Jake told you about him, and from what you know of Dave's bro, you're not exactly meeting him with a clean slate. Well, you can't always arrive with a clean slate. Sometimes you're just gonna have a lot of baggage. Sometimes you just know people before they know you, and you can't really do anything about that, and that's just the way things are. Some people just well known before you ever have a chance. Anyway, you haven't let anyone else's complicated personality traits hold you back from finding a way to befriend them, though, and you're not about to start now. You'll find a way to make it work. It is the last chapter, after all. Volume. Fuck. Don't call them chapters, because they're not that long. It's just a chapter, whatever. God, isn't it fun having such a complicated and nuanced tangle of interpersonal relationships within your friend group? Isn't it such a delightful challenge? Except for all the, the horrible shit that happens every now and then, but I guess. Anyway, the point is, it's time to go meet Dirk. So you go. You don't know much about where he lives, except that it's in the future, like Roxy minus chess guys. You zap on over what should almost definitely be the perfect distance from his door. There is a moment where you are weightless, suspended in midair like the cartoon Coyote Man, whose name you cannot remember because suddenly you are plummeting downward and that takes all of your attention. From what... Wile E. Coyote, yes, right. From what you can see in flashes as you spin... I mean, some people might not know. It's an ages-old cartoon. Some people might be really young watching this. But anyway. From what you can see in flashes as you spin head over heels, the thing you are rapidly approaching is the ocean. I mean, yeah, probability-wise, that's most likely what's going to be. If you aim for the Earth, 70% of the chance of the time you will land in one of the oceans. That's just how it works. Hey! Before you achieve game fucking over before you even begin, you stall yourself with a zap in and out of reality, appearing just a few inches above the water. You land with a delicate splash. It's nice having superpowers like that. You can just stop momentum at a whim. Neat. Now that the imminent threat of death has passed, you look up. Metal rises up from the water in a towering scaffold. Dirk must live in the building up there. God damn it, I mean, you can just... You haul yourself up onto the janky platform at the corner of the scaffolding, a few above water rungs upward, and get your shit together. It's not much to look at. You probably wouldn't even be able to spot it from a distance, but it'll do. In a minute, you can pop back up to the top floor, but you should ring yourself out first. There's a chair, which is weird. You sit in it. It's a gaming chair with a computer and like a beer cooler and a surfboard, but not really, with jets on it, and obviously a diving camp with what's the guy's name? Glasses from Gurren Lagann. I forget his name. Kamiya, right? I forget. I haven't. It's been like a decade since I last watched that. The only time I watched that, but whatever. I think it was Kamiya. It might have been. Or I'm mixing something else up. Look, there's so many anime characters. I can't remember all of their names at all times. There's just too many. There's too many. Don't blame me. That was a slick fucking trick. Timaeus testified. Not the stealing my seat bit, though I do respect your presumptuous ass placement choice too. I mean the entrance, not save. I guess he has that accent now. I don't know. Dirk. Feels American. I don't know why. He does. We're just going with it. You whirl around, but there's no one there, aside from the endless ocean. The only shit in sight is the stuff on the platform. Which, now that you're considering it, kinda reminds you of one of those outdoor man caves you sometimes see at rich people's houses. Except it's an outdoor ocean cave, and not really a cave. The kind where you don't know enough about electricity to get why rain just doesn't fuck the whole thing up. Except instead of like a grill and a TV and an ashtray with an old cigar in it, it's a few screens, a keyboard, a turntable, and a speaker, a couple of hoverboard-looking things, and some complicated aquatic equipment. Both situations contain a mini fridge. Obviously they do. Dirk, you say his name, and hope he shows up. After Roxy, you really thought you weren't going to be bamboozled by another fake-out meeting, but who the fuck knows? Maybe this guy's a ghost? Probably not. No, that's stupid. Is it? Is it really that stupid after everything else? Come on now, ghosts wouldn't be that stupid at all. The one and only. Where is he? Oh, he's inside the suit, isn't he? There's no need to get freaked out about it. I'm just talking through the speakers. Oh, or he's just somewhere else. Oh, he's underwater. Or, more accurately, I'm just sending data through a text-to-speech converter, which is playing through the speakers. This isn't a function I've ever had occasion to dust off, so this is genuinely thrilling. Thank you for trying and failing so miserably to break and enter in pursuit of friendship, or whatever you were doing. Oh, you know, you do your best. Is there a place he'd want to meet, maybe? So y'all could talk in meet space? That's not exactly my forte. Let's just keep chatting like this for a bit, bro to bro. You can use the computer if the power of my voice is getting to be too much for you. Oh, I probably should get much closer to the microphone for this one. It is the final volume. Let's get a little fancy, shan't we? Let's shall, yes. It almost is for me, if I'm being honest here. From above, there's a metallic whirring sound. Ah, shit. Daddy's home. You look up and Dirk is rappelling down the scaffolding at an alarming speed. The jig is up, so he might as well wrap this shit up. He's a construction worker. Oh, hello. Dirk swings in, landing with both feet on the platform. He straightens and stares at you, chin up. Well, you think he's staring at you. He's wearing shades, which you expected. I mean, yeah. It's been real, and don't worry, I won't be far. I never am. Neither Dirk's hands nor his mouth are moving, but his voice is still playing over the speakers. Your smile is nervous and probably too full of teeth. What's going on? So you're the friendable alien I've heard about. I thought for a minute you already ate it, but I see you Peter Pan that shit. I'm not unimpressed. That's one way to compliment someone. He says this the regular way, with his mouth. Oh, I guess there's two voices. Sure. I guess that'll be a thing. It should put you at ease, but it does not. Does he not remember talking about that already? There's two Dirks. You tell him it's nice to talk face to face, since you thought he didn't want to a minute ago when you first met. Oh, that wasn't me. Oh, you thought... Well, wait, what? It wasn't? No, you just met a divergently evolved copy of my 13-year-old brain. Sure. Sure. Copy your brain. The use of the speaker system is new, but it makes sense he'd up his game for interfering with the relationships I'm busy forging in 3D. I guess I should go ahead and be proud of him for it. Sure. I'm getting a little bit too involved in this going close to the microphone thing. So I might not be rambling as much as I used to, but whatever. This is fun. Well, damn, okay. You guess you have no reason to believe that's not possible since, wait. Did he say relationships he's busy forging? I guess he wants to be our friend. Or not. That's a nice change of pace from some of the other ones. Isn't that your whole thing? I was under the impression that you were here to befriend me. My friends haven't exactly kept quiet about you. I just figured you were saving the best for last. I guess I did. Oh, no, that's right. That is your thing. You just thought he might be more of a challenge. Wait, are you friendship nagging him right now? Is that what's happening? How did it come to this? Look, look, let's just accept that Dirk is a fantastic weirdo with a sexy voice. As sexy as I can give, actually. Well, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think I've lost the accent somewhere and changed it to something else at this point. Whatever. Okay, then never mind. You guess it's working. Might as well roll with it. Don't half-ass this one just because I know the gig. I still expect you to friend woo the shit out of me. Sure. Blitz the fuck out of my friendship chakra till I see the universe's heart through its asshole and what have you. Buddy, you've been around the friendship block a time or two. He has no reason to worry. You have full confidence in your ability to show him the friendship time of his life. Sure, whatever the fuck that means. It's an interesting way to conclude this fun one. Oh, I'm ready. I have a list of my deepest secrets ready to unload you on right here, right now, if you think you can take it. Oh, I think we can. After everything else, we can. I mean, come on now. He sure is talking a big game of preparedness, but you're not sure how true it all is. Every line of muscle in his body is held in excruciating placidity. You've never seen a jaw so purposefully unclenched. I guess, sure. I'm not sure what that means. How do you purposefully unclench? It's like, it's almost like he's begging you to call him on it. You do not call him on it. After like an hour of this or something like that. How long have we been going? I don't know anymore. Whatever. I'm not even gonna try to think. You're not sure how he'd get the idea that you could half-ass this, of all things. You'll just prove to him with your deeds. It seems like that might be his love language. Love language. With that in mind, you hold your fist out for him to bump. Sure, fist bumps. Fist bumps are cool. I do them actually. Ah yeah, DAPS. The universal signal of brohood. Sacrosanct across all of space-time. It is. It actually is. Fist bumping is universal. You would be honored to give him his first. The corner of his mouth twitches. Not quite a smile. What kind of monster would I have to be to refuse you? You do the thing. If he's having a moment about having touched another person for the first time, he isn't showing it. Which is fine. Each at their own pace, right? Exactly. Everyone goes at their own pace. Let's not try to make things... Look, everyone has their own pace. I have my own pace. I do these things at my own fucking pace. Nobody else dictates it. Except me. This is my domain. I dictate the pace here. I am the dictator of everything. I declare the rules. I set the pace. I set the tone. I control the levers of everything and all the actions. And the things. The other things. Anyway, I'm a ruthless, brutal, merciless dictator on these streams and on in my domain here. Yes. Anyway. Yes, everyone has their own pace. Right. Let's not get too distracted. Right? Right. So, now that we've got that handled, what's next on the agenda? Do we leap straight into the heartfelt Q&A, or are we doing an activity first? Man, what should you do next? You're not used to your friends giving you the third degree about your process, so you're a little out of step. You can't tell if he's genuinely curious or if he knows he's unbalancing you. Either way, it's intense. You look around for inspiration. Grilling? Nah, you're not a couple dads. You could be. Grilling is the universal language of dadhood, I guess. Yeah. Grilling and a cold one. Oh, the high-tech scuba gear could be cool. The tingle of choice pricks at your neck. I'm not sure you have the musculature to hold that up. No offense. I mean, I do, but I guess the protagonist here might not. I didn't have your literal stick figure proportions in mind when I designed it, and it's built more for looks than weight efficiency, so I don't think you'd last long in it. You're not missing much though. It's not particularly thrilling down there anyway. I mean, if you don't have a light source on that thing, then no, it would not be thrilling at all. But if you do have a light source and if that thing can withstand a fuck ton of pressure, then man, the depths of the ocean are literally less explored than the outer reaches of space. We know more about the surface of Mars than we know about the bottom of the ocean. Which is just ridiculous, but like, hey, water pressure and everything. Just an inhospitable environment that requires a complete opposite approach to space travel and shit like that. Somehow. Oh, phew. Good point. You can totally see yourself sinking like a stone, flailing your arms in a vain attempt at trying to look cool while swimming, clawing at the metal clasps to free yourself, zapping out as a last resort but misjudging distance due to the distracting water in your mouth, it all going black as you wonder why you didn't learn better when you hung out with Feferi. Damn, that was a pretty detailed thought trail. Ha, weird. Hey, as if it's like a choice that we almost could have made, but this Dirk decided we don't need to have a pointless death scenario. Anyway, could you just hang out at his place instead? The classic option. That works for me. You hold out your hand to zap him alongside you, but he doesn't take it. I'll meet you there. His inflection tilts up at the end, a sound shaped like a half a question he wants you to construe the meaning of. What's the alternative? You piggyback ride as he climbs all the way up? He shrugs. Yeah, if you're up for it. I'd be up for it. Why not? I typically rocket board up, but a grueling climb is as good a way as any to kill a morning, so either way. You consider your options. As much as you want to see if he actually has it in him to beast you up the entire tower, rocket boarding sounds like infinitely more fun. You tell him as much. Hop on then. Rocket boards. He kicks it into place and fires it up, offering you his hand. You don't have anything to lose but another life, so you take it. Steadily, but fast enough so you have to cling to his shirt for safety, you fly upward. He circles the tower a few times, in no hurry to make it to the top. I mean, you gotta do it in style. You can't just go vertically up. That's kind of, you gotta enjoy the ride as well. You might, just straight up fall if you go vertically up. Because I don't think it has any handles or like ways to hold on other than through sheer grip strength. That or he's showing off. I mean, you can do both. You don't think that's it, but you're still working it out. The confidence in the way his body moves now, the subtle shifts in way to steer the machine, it all feels genuine. Like this is a much more comfortable thing for him than the conversation was. The wind whoops your face. There is sea in every direction. You land on the top of the tower, and he waits for you to hop up down before doing the same, and then flips the rocket board into quiescence. Here we are, home sweet home. I hope you're prepared for just how homey this shit is too. I've had nothing but time to flex my massive decoy muscles. Oh, that is pretty fancy actually. That is extra fancy. You follow him inside to this room like you have with everyone else. It's full of his shit, like everyone else. I mean, yeah, it's his room. Unlike everyone else, he leans against his workbench, calm and collected and clearly with every fiber of his being, waiting for your judgment. It's fucking cool, I like it. You wonder if it's weird how you can tell that about him, since it does seem like he's putting a lot of effort into the facade. You aren't sure if he's unpracticed at having an audience, or if you're just extra good at reading people by now. Maybe it's the shades that are messing with you. They're nothing new, after Dave, but with Dirk it's almost like he'd be less penetrable without them. You try and focus on the decor, as he clearly wants you to. What do we got going on? Oh, okay, there are themes of puppets, horses, robots, and musical equipment. I mean, he's got nothing but time, so he can have tons of different hobbies. It's got the post-ironic whimsy of Dave's style, which you figure makes sense considering this universe's Dave had a hand in stocking it, but with a dash of Equi's unabashed taste. That's a bit of a surprise, but sure. Equi's, I forget how it pronounced him previously, whatever. It's fine. Martha Stewart would fall to her knees, weeping at her defeat. You tell him. Utterly destroyed by the feng shui in my cinder block placement. Okay. Sure, fucking cinder blocks. She'd retire on the spot, you say. The more you play off his jokes, the more he seems to loosen up for real, so you continue. Much better than the scuba diving trip already. What's down there anyway? The ruins of 21st century civilization, mostly. Ah, shit, yeah. Boring as hell. I mean, yeah, it's just like skyscrapers and some... whatever. He pauses and tilts his head, considering. I wouldn't call them boring, necessarily. It's more that I find it cosmically frustrating to swim in literally any radial line and find nothing but the wasted leftovers of a dead city. Aside from being dependent on it as a source of food, the ocean mostly functions for me as a suffocating and inescapable natural barrier between me and the rest of human history. It's a constant, lapping reminder of my situation, so I'm not often hyped to pile the decibars on. Not sure how well my deep personal beef with the imagery of the sea will land for you, but there it is. I think it might not be so offensive to me were the metaphor less blatant. It's embarrassing. Anyway, there's the first of my layers off. Feels fresh. Let's keep going. What else have you got? It's a little unsettling how direct he's being about the friendship building process, but it's not like you haven't been categorically pushy to achieve that title with literally everyone you have memory of having met, so fair game. Yeah. You're sure you can come up with some things you've been curious about, if he's ready to dive in the deep end, and if he'll forgive the continued aquatic figurative language, the love quadrangle, the questionable settings on the robotic gift choice for his would-be paramour, the differences of opinion on playing the game. He seems to be enjoying the theatricality of the friendship metagaming dance you're doing, so you amp it up for him. You clasp your hands behind your back and pace his room as you monologue, pausing for effect when the impulse strikes you. As you talk, you consider which would be the right issue to end on, to really zing him into opening up. Maybe his feelings about his universe's Dave, or just for fun, maybe where the horse shtick comes from. Depending on which you choose, you could end up... I don't think there's going to be any choices here, are there? Loath as I am to interrupt this Ace Attorney monologue, I wouldn't touch that. You look down at where you are about to dramatically place your hand, and there's a goddamn sword there, haphazardly stored in the hands of some fucking daddy-eyed puppet. Again, your brain careens down a fleeting pathway. Accidental pressure, a clean slice, blood, a lot of it, and... leave the katanas for the big boys. Although if you want to touch a weapon, holy shit do I have an idea. He scoots by you and reaches into the corner of the room, coming up holding a really shitty blue sword. Sword is a loose term though, and honestly holding is too. An object so shitty you can barely focus on is sort of clipping through his hands. He holds it out to you as best he can, it's like a really shitty JPEG rendering. In the name of the succulent convergence of science and horseshit, I need to see what happens when you touch this thing. You reach out and take it from his hand. It steadies under your grasp. Dirk hops up onto his workbench to sit and observe, and you slice it through the air a time or two. Absolutely goddamn incredible. Fucking artifacted the shit out of and glitched the whole world. Something about your narrative liminality and the rudimentary form must allow you to actually wield this piece of shit artifact I inherited from my bro. The implications of this are likely jack fucking nothing, but it's still easily the best thing I've ever seen. He's leaning forward, laughing, dimples carved into his freckled cheeks. There's a small twist in your heart about it, and you can't place why. Is that thing we saw at the very beginning or something? Or is this just some random bullshit that they made up? I honestly can't remember, it's been so long. So who the fuck knows? My memory isn't really focused on much of anything, so who the fuck knows? You're really just able to hold that fucking thing. He clears his throat and settles down, adjusting his glasses. Thanks for that. Anyway, where were we? They like to say anyway just as much as I do. Anyway. Oh right, you were attempting to locate my weak points. Did you want to keep adding to the list, or zero in on one option? So far the short answers are 1. A quartet of teens with not a lot of choices. What do you expect? 2. Call up my autoresponder if you want us to hash that one out. 3. It's all under control. You guess it all boils down to the same general topic really, his friends. That's where this whole thing always ends up anyway, right? Especially since you're his pathway to being able to hang out with them now. Dirk just shrugs. Huh. You'd have thought he'd have a stronger opinion about that one. Doesn't he want to hang out with his friends? Doesn't he want to finally meet Jake? He wrinkles his face like you've shoved a lemon in his mouth. Come on, dude. You can't just spirit me away to the person I want to see most right off the bat. At least make me try and earn it first. He's really into the proper narrative arc of this. He shifts his weight. The light from the window bounced off the choppy mirror of the ocean is bright against his back. Does he have to earn it? I mean, doesn't he think it's been hard enough already? His laugh this time is hollow. Is there a cap on that? You're not sure. But your whole existence is a series of cheat codes, so what else does he expect from you? You whip the sword around a few times to prove your point, but it kinda makes you dizzy to watch, so you put it back in the corner. And anyway, you know he'll cave at some point. How else is he gonna get to seeing them, now that the game is off? He shrugs again. Eh? What? He does know they're not playing anymore, right? Like, they're even talking about a larger operation to shut the whole thing down for everyone on the planet. I know they think that's what's happening, but I'm not worried about it. They'll all play when the time comes. Huh. How in the world does he know that? Last he checked with any of them, they had all moved on. I haven't gotten around to convincing them yet, but I will. It's clear that you've spent a lot of time with them, but they're my friends too. I think I know what they'll do. Interesting. An antagonist potentially. His dismissiveness is raising your heart to raise hackles. That's not really the point though, you say. Won't trying to get them back on board just amp up the conflict in his friend group? And more importantly, why bother trying to make that choice for them? He doesn't even need the game anymore. You can just take him to see them. He can skip the machinations and just like hang out with his friends without having to prove anything to anyone. It's easy. But it's never that easy, it's personal matters. Though, I mean, come on. The slight tightening of his eyebrows is the only thing that shows his frustration. The rest of him is still. The vowels in his drawl are slick and sharp. Black ice on a curved country road. It's not that simple. Do you think I don't want to see them? Do you think I'd tear off a single page off my sweet bro in hell Jeff quote of the day calendar without thinking about that? There are a lot of cards in a lot of hands here, which I'm not sure you're truly appreciating the importance of. I can't just fold mine and hope your shit works out instead. No, fair game. Things are in motion. Things have been in motion since before I was born. You can't just stop them without massive fallout. That is correct, you can't really, yeah. Everything is always interconnected and intertwined. Yeah, you're not saying you know all the answers, just that you know some of them. And you feel like he could trust you a little bit. He looks at you like you've slapped him. Trust you? Well, yeah. A weak puff of air leaves his mouth as he shakes his head. This entire morning has been an exercise in trust. Has it? Dirk is still for a minute. He's probably still staring at you behind those shades. When he speaks again, his voice is steady, but the room is heavy with every ounce of tension he's suppressing. Okay, let's sketch this out. What are the parameters of vulnerability that would count if the ones I'm extending don't? You were just freewheeling there, but you guess you gotta come up with something concrete for him. Okay, how's this? He does all this dangerous scuba diving, sword fighting, rocket boarding shit that could go sideways at any moment, but he wouldn't even let you zap him. There's an example. Okay, yeah, that's true. I want to be the only one in charge of endangering my own life. You got me. But trust isn't only meaningful if it's given completely, or in terms of physical safety. I've been preparing myself for this, for you, ever since I heard you were making the rounds. I was ready to... He trails off, shaking his head. His wordlessness seems to frustrate him more than anything you've said. He seems really unpracticed at getting riled up, and you wonder how often someone pushes his buttons like this. You're not really sure how the two of you got to this point. Argumentative isn't your main mode, either, and you can tell you pushed too far. Never mind. Here. He hops off the workbench, rolls his shoulders, and grabs your hand. Do it. You don't ask where. You pick somewhere close by, but scary enough for his thrill-seeker ass to feel like it was worth the effort. Alright. The air up at the top of the tower on Dirk's roof is calmer than you would have thought it would be. He drops your hand and steps back, leaning against the landing. Crushed it. See? Sometimes trying new shit and trusting people with your well-being can be fine. Sometimes all you need is a friend to prove to you that they have your back. Dirk scrunches his face up like you're embarrassing him. I mean, that was kind of cringy, wasn't it? You mean, empirically speaking, it seems like what just happened was solid proof that... Oh, yeah, I get it. Thanks. He's smiling, so you don't push into that thank you. But you do wonder, after a minute of looking out over the ocean with him, if it's time to scoot things along. You aren't in a hurry, really, but you were getting somewhere before, even if it was a little uncomfortable. He's trying. Maybe harder than anyone has actively tried to befriend you yet. The fact that you think that is still sort of funny to you. But maybe Dirk isn't this transparent to everyone? Maybe it's just you and your non-stop thirst to know people. How much has this boy wanted to know? Wanted to be known? You remember your earlier skepticism about him and laughed to yourself. You haven't had to make yourself try to like him at all. You just do. Weird uptight shit and everything. There's a lot of Dirk going on in there, but you're ready to try and understand him more. It's what you do. So you press on. Let's give it a rest and talk about something else. Sure. I guess. Holy shit, this is excruciating. Alright, son. Change. I keep thinking if I ignore this bullshit, it will sort itself out. But Christ, I don't need to see this. No one needs to see this. What the fuck? Correct. What the fuck was that? Huh? Wait, can he not hear? You've stuffed the choice train once before, yourself, but you've never been interrupted by someone else. I thought we were having a chill bro moment until just now. I have no clue what you're talking about. I can't believe I was ever this pathetic. Okay, so... Okay. Dirk, you had all day every day to do nothing but get swollen both body and mind. And this is how you spent your time? Looking wistfully out at the sky? No wonder you're out here falling for this friendship's weak shit overtures. Oh my god, what? Once again, you find yourself looking around for a Dirk who is nowhere to be found. A regular Dirk, who you are finally getting somewhere with, is looking at you like you've lost your last marble. Oh, you probably have. Dirk really doesn't hear that. It sounds like him, just like older and meaner. No, dude, are you okay? Fine. If your meager little brain needs me to assume corporeal form in order to process this, I'll do it. Okay. Feast your eyes. Holy shit. Holy shit. Sup, Dirk. I'll get to you in a minute. I have to deal with this little meddler first. Alright, we have time traveling. Alright. He turns to you and you step back reflexively. Your eyes flick to your Dirk, who is staring, mouse-like, at his older self. I've let you piss around for far too long. To be fair to myself, which is important, I have had a lot on my plate. Creating a whole species from scratch isn't child's play. So I let this go on, figuring you'd fuck up and die for real. But you keep coming back, and it's getting out of hand. So the plan is this: let my man Dirk do his thing, you fuck off and let people live their arcs. I'll clean up your mess and then get back to being God, while this timeline continues on as it's supposed to. Are we good? Jeez, no, we're not good. That's not how this is gonna resolve. Fuck off, future Dirk. Alternate timelines and multiple selves aren't anything particularly new to you, you think, but you still don't know what got so far up his ass here. No, we're not good. You were in the middle of something, a sacred right of friendship to be fucked up by no one but yourself. You don't know what kind of stuff the future holds, but that isn't your purview. This is, and he's the one interrupting that. Oh my god, I can't work like this. You have to understand the scale we're working with. He flicks you upside the temple, and you feel instantly like your brain got strapped to the nose of a rocket ship and lift off. Remember. Okay. You see a young man standing in his bedroom. Wait, you know him. Your eyes roll back in your head and you feel his story rush into you, panel by panel, page by page. Some of it you remember, from when you were trapped in Doc Scratch's apartment, and other stuff is newer, raw and sweet and sickening. Honks and caws and glubs and blahs froth together in a synaptical transmutation of an unholy cultural zeitgeist that jolts through you like light blasting down your cerebral cortex and out through your clenched teeth. When it's done, you collapse to the floor. Ah, fuck. You remember it? You remember Homestuck. It's all so fresh too. So many of your friends dead. Some of them more than once. Shit, Dirk. You open your eyes and Dirk is standing over you, his hand on your shoulder. Oh good, you're alive. You were starting to freak me out. Almost as much as shredded and deranged me over there is freaking me out. But let's just take this all one step at a time. Anyway, now that you're up, what just happened? Future me was being a real cryptic dick while you were conked out. Patience is a virtue, Dirk. I can't do different identical American type accents. I can't even keep young Dirk's one constant. Fuck. Patience is a virtue. I'm just gonna give him the evil voice. You know what? Let's just evil voice. Patience is a virtue, Dirk. I just had to get our time traveling buddy informed first, so they can make the right call. Shit, okay. You don't know where to begin. You look at Dirk's face, not even trying to hide his concern for you. And holy shit, you care about him. You cared about him before, you knew every tiny fucked up detail about his life, and now, with a reminder of where his story leads, leaning smugly against the railing, you find you still do. He's intense and pushy and profoundly complicated, and right now he's helping you to to your feet, his hand steady and firm on your back as you find your balance. You look back and forth between the two of them, trying to organize your thoughts as Dirk waits for you to respond. This isn't as simple as an evil Dirk and a good one. If you've learned anything from your travels, it's that everyone has the capacity for hurt inside them, and everyone the capacity for love. It's just a matter of proportion, of choice, of circumstance, of time, and, if you're being fair, of interpretation too. Part of you wants to grab Dirk and run, to save him from this trajectory he's on. But then, if you claim that level of control, are you really any better than Ultimate Dirk is himself? Who the fuck are you to make these choices for other people? What gives you the right to wrench canon from the people it belongs to? The people it is about? Why does it always come back to you making a fucking choice? Go ahead and answer him. I'll correct you if you get anything wrong. Don't worry. Oh, you bet he fucking will, you say. No doubts there. You pause your internal debate, take a deep breath, and explain things to your friend. This is the Mega Dirk, a combo of all splinters of Dirk, fermenting in his flesh container and not holding on to his shit nearly as well as he likes to pretend. Ultimate Dirk tisks. You wish. You ignore him and continue explaining. Ultimate Dirk has done a lot of heinous shit to the people he used to care about, to the people Dirk cares about. And he just brain blasted you with memories you used to have of, among other things, everything that will ever happen to Dirk and to his friends in the future. All in order to convince you to keep everything on that path. He wants the same thing Dirk just finished arguing with you about wanting, a future where they play the game. Dirk is still staring at Ultimate Dirk. Shit. You keep going, telling him you know it might be far-fetched from his vantage point, but this is a path he goes down. Dirk finally speaks. No, I can see it. I mean, if anyone's going to pull an I'm you but stronger, it would be me it would be all of me, combined. Exactly. So, now we should all be on the same page vis-a-vis what we all need to do. Which starts with this flat fuck going back to wherever they came from, and the rest of us going back to our regularly scheduled programming. God, you can't even look at this guy, you think, as you look at him. He's so smug, trapped so far down the path he's planned for himself that he can't even entertain the idea that he could be wrong without it tearing him apart. The more you look at him, the more you can't stand him. Prince of hard-ass bastard destroying everything you work to make. Fuck. Forget all that stuff you worried about before. How dare you let yourself be convinced he could be right? Your allegiance is not to the story, but to the people within it. No matter what. Do you have a plan for how to protect your friends without the tenets of canon? Fuck no, you don't. No. Do you give a single shit fucking fuck? Also no. You know he could end you immediately, but you feel freed by the number of times you've died. You do not fear him. He is not your concern. You turn to Dirk. You're sorry, you say, but fuck this guy. Don't listen to him. Everything you just remembered, all the stuff he was used to proving his point, it only makes you even more sure of what you said before, that Dirk can still be happy without all that. He doesn't have to play the game to beat it. Wow, listen to them trying to boss you around like that, Dirk. I'll tell you what you don't do. Don't for a second think I'm too far gone to remember what it's like to be you. Don't pretend you haven't wanted to know what I know, to align every part of yourself until you know it all, feel it all. Don't be afraid of becoming who you need to become. The ends always justify the means, Dirk. No, they fucking don't. Come on. We know this. Fuck that. You're sorry to tell, you never yell this much, but fuck that. This bitch can't bear the thought of a timeline existing without his influence or even his worldview that everything has to be painful to matter. Things are already painful enough. He doesn't have to work overtime to create more pain just so he can feel like he's in control of how much punishment he gets and how badly he deserves it. Because Dirk doesn't deserve it, you say, and you look at the one you mean it for. He's not looking back at you. He's looking at Ultimate Dirk, and there's something about the soft fallen arch of his eyebrows that just folds you up and eats you whole. It's longing like you've never seen in your life, deep and consuming, with a silver glint of loathing. He's going to drown in it if you don't do something. What could you do, you wonder? You care about him, and he does about you, to a degree. You know Dirk now, and you know how he loves. though it's a fierce to a definite fault, he does not do it easily. You're not the one who can get through him. Through this. Oh, I'm starting to lose my mind. He hasn't known you long enough, but you can be a bridge. But to whom? Part of you wants to test out a few things, to throw a couple of friends at the wall and see what sticks. That doesn't sit right with you right now, though. It's messy, and you know Dirk would hate having his feelings experimented on like that. Even after all this, you find yourself not wanting to do that to him. Thank fuck for your side ability to animate monologue to yourself in your head without the time passing too quickly, because you really need to think this one through. You have to pick one single person to help convince him he doesn't need what Ultimate Dirk is offering. Jake? God no. Not right now. He'd be eaten alive by Ultimate Dirk, and you can't do that to him. He's your friend too. Maybe a wild card. Someone Dirk doesn't know but could get along with. Equi. He's like Dirk if Dirk liked to get bossed around, so they might get along great, actually. Though you need someone who can tell Dirk what to do in this moment, so then again, maybe not. You can't hedge your bets and bring everyone, because that would just overwhelm him. Plus there's no budget or time for that. Sure, fair enough. The answer punches you hard in the chest, and you're about to sneak away to find them when Ultimate Dirk speaks up. That was a touching rant you just gave. Very compelling. You know what? Fine. Do what you do best and choose. Steal him away to obscurity or leave him to his destiny. I'm not worried. In fact, as a show of trust in my younger splinter, I'll even fuck off myself until go time. On the 1 in a million chance you do actually get him to go with you, there's no way that's gonna be a good end. We all know he'd regret it. He'll second guess it if it was the right thing every day of his life until he realizes what a flaccid existence he's leading. But by then, it'll be too late. Do your worst. God, I messed up the evil villain voice as well. Look, I can't do consistent voices, that's just not happening. There's a jolt, and then he's gone. There's a beat of silence where you try to work out how to act normal, now that you know what you know. But thankfully, he speaks first. After all your hangouts is buck fucking wild, or did you really pull out all the stops for me? Well, you were about to pull out another when Ultimate Dirk just blasted off like that. It's not too late though, if he'll agree to at least hear you out. Well then, by all means, continue pulling. Let's see where this shit takes us. You'll be right back, you tell him. I'll be right here just chilling, contemplating existence in my place in it. No worries. The zap this time is even more disorienting than your sideways universe zaps. You know why though, since you know everything. You're not sure you're supposed to be here. But Ultimate Dirk already accused you of fucking shit up, so why not fuck shit up a little harder? You want to go pick up this person, and specifically this version of this person. The version you made friends with already isn't ready to meet Dirk yet, probably. But thanks to your recent mind freak, you remember that this one, having lost his Dirk, might be a little more interested. Whoa, who the fuck are you? Okay, that answers that question. You guess you fucked things up to the point that the candy timeline's not the same as the one you were making friends in before. This is probably stuff Ultimate Dirk is so bent out of shape about fixing. Well, it is what it is. You didn't have time to come up with your elevator pitch, but you work best at full power to empathy, 0 to planning. So here you go. Hey, you tell him. Sorry to intrude, but you have a pretty big favor to ask of him. You know he doesn't know you, but you know an alternate version of him that lives outside canon. You met and went to Olive Garden and made friends and you promised you're legit. Sure, that sounds convincing as fuck. Bro, you said Olive Garden? You got me. Sure. That's like a magic word to get me to trust you implicitly. Don't spread that around though. Also, you look like someone ironed the mayor, so that's like 1,000,000 more points in your favor. And I am doing Dick L, so that's useful all day. Or any day to be real with you. So what's the favor? Oh, you. Great. The favor is that you need to borrow him for like a quick minute so he can help you have a conversation with your universe's Dirk. At the sound of Dirk's name, he goes still. See, Dirk's convinced he needs to take the advice of yet another universe's way shittier Dirk and retcon the whole friendship mission so that they can go off and make canon happen. Which ends pretty badly for a lot of people. Your friends involved. And now that you know that, you really want him to just side with you and let everyone chill and hang out and live their lives, and you're not sure of all details about how that will work yet, but the point is that Dirk, I'm in. Yeah, he does, like, I think he stopped listening like a few sentences ago. Great, sick, yes, okay. You take his hand and off you go. When you pop back, Dirk is standing how he was when you first met him, casually braced for emotionally fatal impact. There's a moment where Dirk and Dave just stare each other down, like neither of them are fully ready to register the reality of the other. You really fucking hope this works because it's your Hail Mary. Sup? Holy fuck, man, I didn't think invoking the name of Olive Garden would have this much effect, but here the fuck we are. I mean, sup. Yeah, sup. Aw, hugs are nice. No matter the timeline, no matter the universe, no matter the circumstances of what I'm doing, hugs are nice. Dave pulls him into a short, back-thumping bro hug, which Dirk weathers like a wet cat, not trusting a towel to dry him off. So, I'll be real with you, you were already had a version of you with this first meeting convo. Okay, no, fuck that horribly. God, everything is lowercase and no punctuation, nothing, fuck me. I'll be real with you. We've already had a version of this first meeting convo, and we used like a lightning round conversational mechanism to get shit popping. But I get the feeling we don't have time for all that right now, so I'll skip a few steps for you. Our little mutual friend here says you got options. Well, they seem to think I do, but I'm not convinced. Do you have opinions about it? Sure do. I mean, I'd do anything this little pal suggested after what they just did for me back. But like, what's even the situation? They don't want you to play Spurb and some other he does. There's a little more to it than that, but yeah, that's the gist. Sure, I don't think I got the gist. You watch them chat. This is good, you think. Good, but you're not sure it's enough. You think Dirk is your friend now, but the more you think about it, the weirder the word feels in your brain. Friendship means something different to everyone you've met. Safety, fun, a wake-up call, a person to talk to. You hope that for at least some of them, you've helped them see what is lovable inside themselves. You look at Dirk and wonder if he'll be one of those. He's being so polite to Dave. He must be afraid. Does Dirk even believe others can, of their own volition, love him? You tune back in. Man, if you wanted to argue about can, you should ask your bro here to get, like, anyone else to come along. That shit's not my forte, but seems to me that it's not some immutable bastion of narrative sanctity. It's just some shit some asshole said and did and some choices they made. Okay, well, if I don't follow the plan, beat the game, and get to where you are now, how do I know my choices will still matter? I don't know, man, you're not in my timeline anymore because of a choice you made a while back, so my mileage might vary a bit. Dirk shifts backwards. You wish he'd look more surprised about it. Oh. Yeah. I don't want to waste your time or anything. Just getting to talk to you is worth it, so I don't know, do what you gotta do, but like coming from me, a guy who could have done some stuff differently himself, at least try to trust your friend. I know you don't like believe this stuff, but maybe listen to the people who like you for it, cause they mean it. I'm Rob now, so I guess if I have one thing to say to you, it'd just be, it's okay to not have all the way answers. Yeah, that's what I tell you. Dirk nods. God. Just that, reading that sentence was just awful on my end. So, I'm processing that a lot. But I also cannot go any further in this conversation without telling you that our little friend is liminal enough to actually be able to hold the sword. Oh, holy fuck, you what? Oh, wow. Oh, evil. Oh, wow. Dave, huh? Okay. Bringing fucking guns to a knife fight here. I didn't expect this level underhanded maneuvering from you, but I'll respect the play. Doesn't matter anyway. I've come back with my own cheat. God, this is going long, but whatever. Sorry for the delay. I had to deal with some shit on my end. I changed his voice again, didn't I? Whatever. New plan. Forget us all going our separate ways to fix shit. Dirk, you're coming with me. Your friend was right about one thing. Things don't need to go back to the way they were. But not for any lame reason like the power of love. I have plans bigger than that. I promise you this limp dick excuse for a friend doesn't measure up to all the shit I could show you. Will show you. Sure, it might hurt to leave your friends behind at first, and sure, you'll miss out on Jake's carnal charms, but that emptiness will fade when you realize the true power we have. Ultimate Dirk extends his hand, his cape billows obnoxiously behind him. Dirk looks at you, then at Dave. Shit, they were almost there. You have no time left to waste. You close your eyes and will the choice to come to you. Stop him. Don't stop him. One of those has to work, right? You don't feel confident. You look at Dirk and it hits you. Ultimate Dirk was maddeningly right. It won't work if there's room for Dirk to regret it. You're not sure either of you would ever be certain it was the right choice unless you let Dirk choose it for himself. No more telling him what to do. No more telling anyone what to do. When you feel the choice pricking at you, you turn it outward. You flip the power in your belly inside out and give the weight of it up, for a moment, to him. You wait to see what Dirk does with the thing warring in him. Ah. You see it manifest in his brain and in yours, and your stomach plunges. It feels rigged from the start. There's no way Dirk will choose you and Dave when he's gone and framed it like that. God damn it. Too late to change anything yourself. You wait for Dirk to choose. I mean, I don't know. I guess trust yourself. Let's trust in regular Dirk. I guess. I don't know. Dirk turns to you, apology already on his face. No. You can tell where this is going, and you hate it. So, it's not you. It's me. Is levity helpful? Probably not. But I'm doing my best. It's not that this hasn't been a good time. I didn't expect to achieve this level of metatextual mind freak during our hangout, but I've really enjoyed it. This is the day I would not have thought was possible. Fist bump. He stops to hold his fist out to Dave, who, after a pause, bumps it with his own. He must know too. He turns away. Everything Dirk is saying feels forced to you, like he's trying to convince himself as much as he is you. Still, you know you've lost. And I have you to thank for it. I'd go so far as to consider you my friend even. And if you frame your relative success or failure on having formed a friendship, you can call this a good end. But he trails off, turning to walk toward Ultimate Dirk. As much fun as this was, this is me we're talking about here. There's no contest. I have to know. It was always gonna be you and me, Dirk. The two of them stand side by side, twin smirks on their faces. Dirk's is almost believable. Goodbye. You curl up into yourself, a hunched ball on a tall tower on a single apartment in the middle of the sea. Your brain disconnects from the sounds of their conversation, of Ultimate Dirk's likely victory monologue, the static of their exit. You cry into your shitty little stick hands because you thought you fucking had this one. And somehow it feels weightier than the loss of just one friend. You feel like something bigger and more beautiful than you thought possible was at your fingertips. And now it's gone. You come back to reality at the warmth of Dave's hand on your shoulder as he crouches down next to you. His voice is thick with tears. You didn't even help him through crying. Hey bro, I'm sorry. I don't know how much longer I can chill here. Like, emotionally. Can you take me home? Abandoned at sea. Okay. I guess that was... Okay. I guess I was overthinking something about what Dirk might find. Alright. We gotta... Alright. We gotta see the correct good ending and stuff like that. This one. Yeah, interrupted. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, there we go. Didn't take long. Anyway, trust them. Sorry, man. Your heart drops, and then you see who he's looking at. Guess you could call this one the bad end, eh? Luckily for you, there's almost definitely another of me that can't wait to sail the seven seas a story with you or some shit. He licks his lips and raises his chin, braced for Ultimate Dirk to challenge his call. I assume with your huge fucking brain you can see that happen as we speak, yeah? So, no need to be a sore loser now. Be good to that me, will you? Treat him right. As right as he wants me to, I promise. Anyway, I did say 1 in a million odds, so statistically you have to wuss out at least once. It's fucking gross to experience. Good thing it'll get totally assimilated to the other versions of this conversation. Now's not really the time to play the actually it's unusually just a binary card. Don't want to complicate that particular issue for him, so you let it lie. You step forward, shoulder brushing Dirk's. Don't gloat, it's gosh. Enjoy your moment of irrelevance before this one goes down the drain. Deuces. Yes, hell yeah. You stop your celebration when you notice that Dirk is a little shaky. Holy shit, what did I just do? This future you have in the works better be fucking good, my dude. Are you kidding me? They got it on lock. Oh, he knows it. You don't tell him you don't know every single detail yet, but you understand yourself now. You'll work it out when you need to. You always do. It's okay, you think. If Dirk is a little afraid, it comes with the territory when you let people in. And he'll have even more practice with that as soon as you can zap up some more company. It won't be smooth sailing though, you warn him. As long as we move past the sailing metaphor, you can jack that difficulty level up as high as you like. Oh, are we anti-ocean here? Oh yeah, extremely. Fuck water, am I right? Dirk turns his head slightly, and you know he's looking at you. He smiles and you know he gets it. It's not about this being the real timeline or the fake one, the hard one or the easy one. It's about being his, if he wants it. Which you realize, as you watch him turn back to laugh along with Dave, he does. Victory! Woo! Yee, BFFs with everyone now. Oh, never mind. Almost. Of course, it's the final one. The Rempi engine as well. The air between you and the two of them opens up like a wound in the universe, and you feel yourself being pulled to what means the final volume. You can't just have a generic ending like that without the resolutions. Of course not. You see him in there too. That fucking bastard. Goddamn it, Ultimate Dirk. An Ultimate Dirk pulls you through what you can only conceptualize as a tear in the narrative. You turn to look at Dirk and Dave. This is sure to lead to some bullshit, and you need to confirm that they're still intact. You aren't sure where you're going next, but you don't want them to worry. As the hole starts to reseal itself with them on the other side, you give them a thumbs up, the universal signal of reassurance that things are okay. You'll be back. Neither of them are strangers to either the intricacies of plot or shenanigans, so they return it in unison. You did it. You got him a good end. Dirk Strider is your friend, you think, as you fall through nothingness. Dave can take it from here. Guess that sword isn't just for show. He really knows how to use it. You go flying out of frame, out of this volume, and straight into the epilogue. No, not the epilogue. God, this is impossible. He can't believe you are the main character of such a stupid story. He launches you straight into the post-game? Final chapter? Afterward? Oh wait, afterward? Both of them look weird. Sure. Anyway, I don't think it's good writing to use anyway all that much. I mean, it's something I say just casually all the time. Exactly. Anyway, he launches you into the afterward, afterward, which seems to be just that drifting grey place between universes. But this time you aren't standing in the corridor. You are hurtling along it like a protagonist-shaped missile. This is not going to end well. Sorry, T-posing God person, this really isn't your fault. Actually, that's an A-pose. Common mistake. Just trying to help. You brace for whatever hellish experience is waiting for you when you hit the event horizon. What? Hello, back here again. Hello, the green room. And that guy with I forgot already. His name started with a B or something, right? Guy without face. Your whole body aches, not physically, more thematically. Like you just got bitch slapped straight in the meta-narrative and bodied back to the beginning. Ah shit, are you literally at the beginning? Did you forget everything again? Quick, Hemospectrum, Trolls, Incestuous Slurry, Bequerel, the fucking Madrigogs, Truth, Relevance, and essentially, phew, you remember. So here you are again. You guess it makes sense that Doc Scratch was behind it all in the end. Maybe he and Ultimate Dirk have been working together this whole time. Hey, you round, shiny son of a bitch, show yourself. You receive no response. The plush green room is still. In the corner, the clock has stopped. Wait, what was that? The sound of a struggle drifts from deeper in the house. Oh balls, is Spade slick here to beat this shit out of Doc Scratch? But you thought that happened at the beginning of the game. Maybe you really have been transported back to the square one. But nothing is on fire. Spade Slick sets the place on fire, right? Shit, why do so many things happen in this goddamn comic? There are just so many details to remember. Yeah, I'm not even trying to remember them, it's too much. You follow the sound of the ruckus, turning a corner down a long, wood-paneled hallway. A door stands open at the end of it, where two people appear to be locked in an intense struggle. Hey, listen, we can talk about this. You edge closer down the corridor. The mirrors on the walls watch you like eyes. Clearly, I have made some bad decisions. I'll grant you that. The man currently hanging on the door jamb for dear life both sounds and looks familiar, but you are actually kind of having a hard time focusing on him. It makes your head swim. Okay, yes, I agree that I need to take a break, but please don't put me in here with that wolf head. It's out for my blood. I don't know if I can hold it off for long. The second figure, a woman maybe, appears unmoved by the man's pleas. You have no idea what's going on here, but one thing you do know is that you can't just allow random broads to throw dudes into rooms against their will. Hey, you shout down the corridor. Both the man and the woman turn and look at you. The combined power of their gaze forces you to your knees. It hits you in the same tender place that Ultimate Dirk's strike had, right in the narrative. The woman takes that chance to shove the man into the room and slam the door.
Sorry about that. He won't bother us anymore.
Oh, this is voice acted. Anyway, but we're gonna barrel over that. Sorry about that. He won't bother us anymore. The sound of her voice vibrates all the way into your skull. It's her, the A-posing and now T-posing character. She's the one who's been doing this to you, who's been stopping you from going back to visit your friends, who's been manipulating you, just like Doc Scratch did. It's the author. Literally the author. Or something like that. Oh, come on. I'm not that bad. At least I hope I'm not. By the way, unmute me if you haven't bothered to already. Actually, oh wait, there's an option. Actually, sorry, but I will. This is how it works. Sorry. I will be muting you. Sorry about that, but this is how it works. I read the story. I am the voices here. I mean, okay, we can have a little bit, but not overwhelming to the point where you can hear it. Sorry, but not sorry. Not how this works. Not how this works, lady. Sorry. My domain. My rules. My dictatorship. This music in this section rules. It's fine. It's fine. This game's music hasn't really done much to me. It's fine. Besides, voiceover in an NP is extremely annoying. Did you know you have to save every line as a different OGG file? I didn't even know what an OGG file was until our programmer explained it to me. Actually, wow. This is a huge pain in the ass. Let's just go back to text only. That's better. Okay. You're falling to pieces. Every part of your body is literally sliding apart and falling into the others. It's just like being hit by the house juju. Your corporeal form is not meant for this much meta-narrative bullshit. You just aren't made for it. Come on, you're fine. She paps you on the cheek, and suddenly it's true. You are fine. She's made it so. She must be magic. Like that. No, not quite. Get up, king. You do, slowly. For some inexplicable reason, you are more scared of her than you'd been of Ultimate Dirk, or of Doc Scratch, or anyone else. You have a feeling that she might be the real danger when she's the author. Literally. Anyway. She laughs. It's not a villainous laugh, but it's not exactly a nice one either. I guess that's fair. I'm definitely not a hero. Or maybe I am a hero, and the dude I just shoved into that cupboard with the wolf head is the real villain. Or it's the other way around, and evil has triumphed. You tell her that you don't remember her from the comic you read. Well, no, because she's the one who wrote the comic. Yeah, you wouldn't. Don't worry about it. You could call me the director. And you're right, all of this is my fault. All of this? Yeah, I'm the reason you couldn't reach your friends, and I'm the reason your memories got wiped. What? Why? Why would you do that? Because the narrative. Because I wanted to try something, and it wouldn't have worked if you hadn't gone in with an open mind. Could you really have made friends with any of these kids if you'd known what they'd had waiting for them at the end of the line? Your snap response is an overwhelming yes, of course you could. You can make friends with anyone. But you know deep down that it isn't true. Could you really have looked John in the eye if you'd seen him get bored by a video game monster and then lose his virginity in the back of his dad's car before literally dying? Did we really need a reminder of that? Could you have talked to Jay like a normal person if you knew she was going to grow up to be a half-dead dog goddess? That's probably fine. Whatever. Could you have resisted throwing Rose and Kanaya together the first chance you got? Could you have even handled becoming friends with Equius, Nipete, or Feferi, knowing what was coming for them? God, could you have stood to be in the same room as Gamzee or Eridan? Right? Making friends with people when we know how their story ends isn't something we're equipped to do. Really? Is that necessarily true? I don't think that's necessarily true. It's like meeting a celebrity. Hard to be normal. I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, it's hard if you care about that bit. You tell the director that you don't think any of this is very normal. No shit, it's not. She laughs. Yes, you're smart. That's why I like you, MSPA reader. Whoa. That's not your name. Your name is... Hey, come on. Leave something for the sequel. The truth is, I use you. And I'm sorry for that. But I'm also not sorry. I mean, that's deliberate, though. Because these kids were born to suffer. That's what they're for. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. Destiny wrapped its thick, icky tentacles around them and pulled them into a story without happy endings. But you changed that. You gave them a chance to grow up. Wait, you did that? But you remember the other story, the real story, the one that just ended with everything falling to shit. Are you saying all of that didn't happen? No, it happened. Well, it didn't actually happen, because none of this is happening. Creators all the way down, and such like. But you made this story, and nobody can take that away from you. Oh my god, shut up. I can't handle this anymore. I mean, you don't have any power against the actual literal creator, or who's literally in charge of the code and programming and everything else, and like holds the pen of the narrative. The director looks, for the first time, just a little bit worried. She covers it up quickly, however, and regains her placid stance of neutral indifference. You want a real villain? This guy right here. This is so fucking stupid, even for all of you. I'm aware of that. How dare you? How dare you? You're gonna lecture me on Audacity? Come on, man. You're not even real. And yet you keep talking to me. Wow, you feel like you shouldn't be here for this, possibly. You always feel kind of awkward when authority figures fight. I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. We weren't done talking. Then why'd you cut the damn UI in half? I got a little overzealous. I mean, fair enough. It happens. It does. Sometimes you get a little overzealous and you cut the cut the code in half. Sorry about that, by the way. Are you really sorry though, Ultimate Tech? I'm not sure. Anyway, you shrug. Whatever. You've had worse. Still, you don't feel very well disposed towards this guy at this point, knowing all the garbage he's done and will probably keep doing. Although you aren't sure if the director is any better. I'm much, much better than him. See what I can do? Can Dirk try to do this? Can he talk with an actual human voice? Get fucked. See? Come on. You're at least a little happy to see me. Stop flexing at me. I have a wife. For a man so devoted to swords, don't you think it's going against your character to have such enormous guns? What? These? Oh, they're not mine. Just an artifact of the medium. I'd say thanks, but I feel like you all got more out of it than me. Stop flirting with my audience, you anime-ass motherfucker. Hey, you're in charge. I wouldn't look like this if you didn't want me to. I actually let the artists have a lot of creative license. Nice evasion. Shut the fuck up. Okay, this bullshit doesn't matter. What does matter is that he directs his anime gaze back to you. This isn't just about Dirk anymore. You're zapping around and ruining everything. I seriously can't even begin to unravel the utter saccharine shitpile you've created. You have absolutely decimated everyone's character arcs and motivation. Seriously, Eridan got a gender arc? Come on, man. Oi, it was fine. It was totally fine, you fuck. There's actually plenty of seeding for that storyline in the comic Papa added. Den's relationship to femininity is really... Do you realize what you've done here? You've completely stolen their destinies from them. Oh, fuck destiny. You make of your life what you choose and fuck destiny. You guess you did. But now they've got a chance to be actual teenagers and grow up in a world that isn't trying to murder them constantly. Well, Alterna is still doing that, but at least they won't be in a hostile video game environment. You've ruined them. But they're happy. Happy people don't get stories told about them. So what? You don't need to have a story told about you. I don't expect to have a story told about me once I'm gone. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm happy. As long as I'm happy, I don't give a fuck about what happens after I'm dead. Who gives a shit? It's not relevant. That isn't true. That can't be true. You look to the director for help. Surely she knows what to say. After all, this happened on her watch. She isn't looking at you. She's looking at the ground. What people think. Well, look at the ground so they don't get distracted when they're thinking. That's normal. She knew what she was doing the whole time. She knew how it would have to shake out. When were you planning to tell them? I was getting there. She knows that the prince knows what he's talking about. Nobody has thought more about causation and narrative flow than he has. Fuck, you shake your head. For a second it felt like things got a little screwy. Hey. She claps her hands in Ultimate Doug's face. Cut that shit out. Leave them alone. Then stop wasting my time. She sighs. Fine. She appears to gather herself, folding her hands in front of her like she is about to recite a poem. This has been a really interesting experiment, and I'm glad we got to do it. I've definitely learned a lot. But look, I need you to go back and give that beta to John. Because without that, they never play the game. The story never gets told, you never read the story, you were never here. Wait, isn't this just another timeline? A Doom timeline, or whatever the fuck? The director shakes her head. No, it's a retcon. What you'd be doing here would be turning the Alpha timeline into a Doom timeline. And since the story has technically ended, and started again, and then ended, and started again so many times, switching tracks at this point would corrupt it beyond recognition. I mean, it's already FUBAR, so who cares? You would cause a paradox so catastrophic that would literally tear the multiverse apart. You mean like the Scratch? Worse than the Scratch. This would be the Blackout. Utter ruin. But wait, you already threw the beta in the goddamn sewer. Shouldn't this have already happened, this utter ruin? No, because you still have the power to go back and change it. If you decide not to act, then we have to worry. You look back and forth between Ultimate Dirk and the director, trying to find a way out, some indication that they're fucking with you. They don't seem to like each other much, but they do appear to be joining their insistence that this utter ruin bullshit is going to happen unless you betray all of your friends, unravel everything you did here. Fuck that. We're not doing that. What was the point of doing any of this if you were always just going to have to lose it all in the end? Emotional trauma and experience. That's what, isn't it? The director shrugs. What's the point of doing anything? For fun. An experiment, just to see. Fuck around and find out, generally speaking. What's the point of living if we know that it's going to end in death? It's the experience that matters, not the destination. Why do we open up a book if we know we'll have to close it? Yeah, that's what you're asking. You don't just want more questions, goddammit. I'm sorry. I don't have any answers for you. Just an option screen. Well, fuck the universe. We're not betraying that. Unless this is bad. Oh. It literally cuts... Okay. It literally closed the game. It Control F4 itself. Alright. Alright. Starting that up again. Okay. Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough. There we go. Alright, I guess. Alright, well, alright. I wasn't expecting that, but it makes sense. Some fuckery. Alright, we're gonna have to... Guess we have to betray our friends if we want to see what happens. Dave, yo. Alright. I guess we have to betray our friends because the other option literally closes the game. I do like when they do this kind of stuff, where they just fuck around with you. Fine, because we don't have an option, actually. It's not an option. I mean, I guess it is an option if you want to leave it at that, but I do want to see all of what this has to offer. You know what? Fuck both of you. You'll do it, but also, fuck you. That's fair. Thanks for being reasonable. I don't think that's being reasonable at all. Not at all, but, well, fuck you. They already said it. Get out of my video game. You put him there. I don't think I will. I'm gonna stick around and watch everything you try to do here get flushed down the toilet of bad spin-offs. The director takes a step forward towards him. They aren't fighting exactly, but they're doing something. You have the distinct impression of two people fighting over a pen, or elbowing each other out of the way in order to type at the keyboard. You are feeling a little dizzy again. Andrew Hussey would never do this to me. The director takes a long, tired breath. Sorry about that. Where were we? You turn away from her. You don't want to talk to her anymore. You just want to get this over with. I get that. I'll let you be alone. I'm sorry, kid. You didn't really give me a choice. Not really. The director fades slowly until it's like she was never there at all. But the horror, the pit of ice that has opened up in your belly, that's still there. And it will never go away. Once you consign all your friends to a hero's journey full of pain and heartache, what will happen to you? Will you just vanish? Will whatever iteration of you that was created for this story just cease to be? No, it'll just go back. It's an infinite loop. When the book is closed, what will you be? Something for another person to open the book and start all over again. Zap! The mailbox is here. It's all full. The little flappy daily is up and everything. With difficulty, you pull the bait out, scattering the rest of the mail across the yard. Fuck you, bills and coupon books. Get a job. Up in the house, you see a friendly face looking down at you. You take a deep breath. I mean, just... Huh? Wait. Hold the fucking phone. We can click on ourselves. Who is in charge of this story? Not Ultimate Dirk, not that director, and certainly not that guy who got shoved into a room with the wolf head. It's you. It's always been you. Why are you just doing what they told you to do? There has to be a third option. There's always a third option. When the scratch happened, everything should have been erased. Everything was erased. Except it wasn't, because someone intervened. Jade drew all of her friends close to her and kept them safe. She saved them. The first time you tried to bring Jade with you, when you teleported, Beck didn't let you. But then later, he did. Jade told you that he'd been just acting like a normal dog. Jane told you that God Cat had just been acting like a good little kitty. Almost like their powers were gone. You pace in a quick circle. Then you hear Dad's car pulling up from behind and you zap out of there before you can get caught again. Zap. You've still got the beta clutched in your hand, but you're alone on Dave's roof underneath the blazing Houston sun. Nobody's going to bother you up here. There's something that's teasing you just at the edge of your understanding. And if you could only reach it, you need help. You need someone who knows about weird shit. Like a lock clicking in your brain, you understand what you have to do. Hello. Oh, it's you. How's it going? You look a little tired. You ask Aradia if she's been watching recently, if she knows what's been going down in your part of the neighborhood. She shakes her head. I lost track of you when you hopped universes. I'm about to try to get myself out of canon for good, and it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. So I've been trying to conserve my energy. Oh, right, yeah, you know about that. She raises an eyebrow. Don't worry about that, actually. You know some lore, is all. You might have seen what's going to happen in Aradia next. Actually, she doesn't have too much to worry about. She and Solix are fine. Actually, probably more fine than almost everyone else. That's good to know, I guess. So, did you figure out what's going on with your friend's situation? Yeah, you tell Aradia what's been going on with your friend's situation. Wow. Yeah. And you're going to do it? You're going to erase this timeline? Because if you are, then, no offense, I might head out of canon a little early. That's just the thing. You think you might have a plan? Oh. You tell her the plan. Does she think it'll work? A slow, brilliant smile paints a sunrise across her face. That's a nice smile. I have no idea. But I'd love to watch. Zap. The green sun. Oh, hold up. The green sun spreads out below you like a giant radioactive gumball that absolutely wants to tear you into a million greasy pieces. You can feel it tugging at all your organs, twisting up all the words inside you, making a mess of the themes, dragging motives screaming to the surface. This is the single largest source of raw narrative mess in the multiverse. and it should be killing you. Do you actually need me to do anything? Sora just wanted her to vibe here with you in case you die. You don't want to die alone. That's fair. Hey, if you die, I'll pick up your bones for you. Thanks, Aradia. She smiles. See you on the other side, you say. You're not sure who you're talking to. You're guessing this is going to be pretty bad. Zap. It's not bad. It's not pain exactly, because when you are inside the green sun, you don't think you have nerve endings anymore. You are just a consciousness floating in the miasma of causation. You aren't sure how this is supposed to work. Should you maybe start thinking about your friends like you are in the animes? Drawing strength from the power of your social links? You think about John and Rose and your good friend Dave. Fuck, ouch, thinking too much hurts. You aren't going to be able to count on anime cliches for this one, you guess. So you don't think about your friends. For once, you think about yourself. The impossibility that is you, protagonist, reader, carrier of the story. Maybe not every story, but this one. You have been erased so many times. You look across the rise and fall of this story and see just how many mistakes you've made. All the times you broken your friends' trust or betrayed them, or hell, even killed them. You reach across to all of those views, your what-ifs, your do-overs. You let the blazing energy overtake you. You open yourself up, and everything goes green. And you better be on your best behavior often. If this partnership is gonna work out, forget this guy Vriska. We can do this ourselves. Could you at least give your guy a chance to respond to a couple of... What's that? Pounce, come here, kitty. I'm home. The pets of this cave is far too small for someone with a height as strong as mine. Pounce. Equus, what's that? Ah, fuck, I already... Anyway, that's why I don't eat corn dogs anymore. What the fuck? Is this a normal future thing? Earthquakes and shit? I guess that's normal wherever thing, but we don't get many of them in Houston. I don't think that... I don't think that's an earthquake. Auto responder? No seismic activity detected in the area. Bounced the mic. So you're telling me I wrote this? In another history? Yeah, as far as I'm aware. Incredible. It's very boring. I think it's brilliant. I mean, gathering all the friends and everything else. The green sun pulses around your slowly collapsing being. And as you feel it subsume you, you feel yourself unspooling, swallowed in light. You think of how you came to be here, where you are right now, and the choices you made along that path. What are the odds that the you that prevailed in this one? It's probably something that could be mathed out, but you're too busy eating the fucking sun with your whole body to figure it out. Instead, you sink into the feeling of connections that hold you together. The bonds you created are threaded through your arms and your belly and your heart. Your body is nothing, consumed by flame, and yet you feel yourself start to become. The mail goes in the box. Okay, Gary, this is the best part of the movie. All the classic memes come from this part. John, every part of this movie is hot trash. It's not that bad. I want to see the guy put the bunny back in the box. This movie's so bad that the drones are approaching your neighborhood. It's too late for the human race. Darkness seized at this timeline, and in the distance you hear what might be cracks, splinters through space-time. Reality is compressing and falling apart around you in a cacophony of breaking glass. All of your friends, all of their dreams rendered away to nothing. All of it unraveling. No. No. It doesn't disappear. I don't let it. I am bigger than this story, but I am also inside the story. So I gather it up and I keep it close to me. And as soon as I remove it from causation, it's like it never happened. I take the timeline and I lock it away. That's what it is. It is a locked timeline. And I am its guardian. Its first guardian. Right? Thanks for playing. Alright. Okay. You know what? This deserves the credits roll. Let's roll the credits. Oh, I guess we can't really roll the credits. Executive producers, all these. Okay, actually, let's read these. Sometimes we don't... let's read these. We don't always get English credits. So, Homestuck, Pesterquest, executive producers, and these don't auto-scroll, so I can just read everything. Executive producers, Andrew Hussey, Cindy Dominguez. I'm gonna butcher some of these names, aren't I? Yeah, sorry about that in advance. Producer, Julian Dominguez. Director, Aisha Farah. Writers, Aisha Farah. Prologue, Rose Karkat Gamzi Nepeta Afterward. Art, Andrew Hussey, John. James Roach, Dave Aradia. David Turnbull, Jade Tavros. Magdalena Clark, Kanaya, Jake. Kate Mitchell, Vriska. Laylo Hunt, Equise, Roxy, Dirk. Sarah Zedig, Terezi. Anonymous 2.0, Solox. Griever, Eridan. Thomas Carr, Pfeffery. Pip Dillistone, Jane. These were the writers for their according storylines and characters, I guess. Character artists, Kim Quash. Quash? I don't know I'm not supposed, I don't know. The letter Q is pronounced so many different ways. Fucking, anyway. Character artists, Kim Quash, Jean Eridan Pfeffery. Brea Rivera. For Rose, Jade, Aradia, Tavros, Jake. Gina Chacon. Again, another anything. The CH can be pronounced in so many different ways. Dave Karkat, Kanaya, Solux, Jane, Dirk Afterward. Haven, Daniel Taylor, Gamzi, Vriska, Nepeta, Roxy. Zamag, Equise, Terezi. Background artists, Andrew Hussey, Prologue. Zamag, John Dave, Courtney Brendel, Rose, Jade, Vriska, Gamzi, Aradia, Tavros, Jane, Roxy, Dirk Afterward. Phil Gibson, Karkat Kanaya, Gina Chachon. I'm gonna go with Chachon, I guess. Equise, Terezi, Eridan, Pfeffery, Jake. Charlie Flock, Nepeta, Solux. Ending illustrations, Zamag, John Dave, Courtney Brendel, Rose, Jade, Vriska, Gamzi, Aradia, Tavros, Jane, Roxy, Dirk Afterward. Phil Gibson, Karkat Kanaya. Gina Chachon, Equise, Terezi, Eridan, Pfeffery, Jake. Charlie Flock, Nepeta, Solux. UI designer, David Turnbull. Audio director, James Roach. Musicians, James Roach. For a lot of things. For James Roach for the menu theme, Friendvangelion Rebuild, Prologue theme, Worst End. John's theme, sometimes I call Andrew Hussey's Andy, and so far he hasn't corrected me. Rose's theme, Please Support the Trevor Project. Dave Root, Prelude, 2 chords. Dave's theme, I'll probably just name this one something normal. Oh no, wait, oh geez, I'll bait. Dave's ending theme, 24/7 lo-fi anime beats to question your sexuality too. Jade's theme, James Roach featuring Speak and Say, Carefree Victory remix. Karkat's theme, Crustacean. Terezi's theme, a fucking like QR code thingy. Aradia's theme, yeah it is. Solux's theme, Cocom.way. KWXCOM.wav. Eridan's theme, Busker's theme Mark II. James' theme, I guess. Loxy's theme, would you believe this was for something else? Chaos Audio, this is like, what was it? SMSPR, remember. Afterward theme, normal song name. Sure. Anyway, Clark Powell was responsible for Nepeta's theme, Requiem, and Roxy's theme 2, Even in Death, Timora's Belly's Mix. Clark Powell and Astro Kid together for Ultimate Dirk's theme, Beat Up. Toby Fox is here for Kanaya's theme, Darling Kanaya. Gamzi's theme, Miracles. Pfeffery's theme, Love You, Pfeffery's theme. Eridan and Solk's battle, The Last Frontier. Jake's theme, Riches to Ruins, Movement 2. And Dirk's theme, Stress. Then Mark Hadley for Gamzi's theme 2, Midnight Calliope. Then Jan Nucleus Rodriguez for Vriska's theme, Superego. And Tavros's theme, Bronze Rebel. Then Paul Tutler Star for Equise's theme, Indigo Air. Then Malcolm Brown for Dirk's theme 2, Unite Synchronization. Then Max Imbrog Wright for Reader's theme, Embittered Shore. Game design and programming, Mint Chiplev for Prologue, Volumes 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. David Turnbull for Prologue, Volumes 2, 4, 6, 8. Zihao Zhang for Volume 10. Adelaide Killigan for Volumes 11, 14 afterward. And Andrew T. D. Kohi for Volumes 12, 13. Published by Fellow Traveler Operations. Chris Wright, Managing Director, Stephen Gray, Business Manager, Fiona Murray, Finance Manager, Felix Kramer, Scout, Marketing, Marla Fitzsimmons, Marketing Manager, Suzanne Wallace, Brand Manager, Ashley Nicolette, Content Marketing Manager, Production, Des Gael, Production Manager, Evolve PR, Sean Petrashuk and Chris Priestley, Hatch Icons by Carol Liao, provided by 2Icon under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International License, Sun image captured by NASA, modified under Creative Commons Attribution 2.0 Generic License, Circling Fire image by Mikegi from Pixabay. Thank you to Photomosh for providing an image glitching service, made with RAMPay 7.3.5.606. This program contains free software under the number of licenses, including the MIT license and GNU Lesser General Public License. A complete list of software, including links to full source codes, can be found here. Link. Oh, everything's linked. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. That is that. And with that, this was a lot longer than I expecting to go, but, you know, once you start the ending, you gotta finish it. And we have finished it. We are done. We are done with Pesterquest. That was an interesting experience. I enjoyed it. Yes, I enjoyed it. It had some interesting moments and some that it was what it was. But that's fine. That's fine. It was what it was. And I liked it. I liked it ultimately. Yes, I did. That was fascinating. That was very fascinating. I would highly recommend it. If, you know, I mean, I did go through literally everything, so if you've been with me so far, then you've seen everything. But I mean, if you haven't, then I would recommend it. I mean, I would still recommend it. Anyway, I'm losing my mind now. Yes, there's nothing else to mention or say. Just that it was a pleasant experience ultimately. It was a roller coaster of emotions sometimes, a bit, although I guess I'm a little bit more... I guess I need to work on some parts of myself. Oh well, we knew I'm a little messed up, so it's not really a surprise. But anyway, with that out of the way, we can finally, or you out of the way, we can finally conclude this in the only way that it can be. And so, farewell, and we now return.